Welcome everyone to our English speaking practice class. I am very excited to be here with you today, and we are going to practice the past tense. And we're going to make it very easy for you because you're going to see natural example sentences that native speakers use that sound advanced. So let's look at some situations where you're talking about your routines, your daily routines. But remember, this is in the past. So you're speaking about it as a completed past action. So let's say I will ask you, so answer this question. What time did you wake up this morning? That's slow. I'll ask the question at a natural pace that I would ask my friends or anyone. What time did you wake up this morning? What time did you wake up? Wake up. What time did you wake up this morning? Now, keep in mind when I say this morning, it's a completed past action, assuming I'm asking in the late morning, 10 a.m., the afternoon, the evening, at the end of the day. You can say this morning. What time did you wake up this morning? So put your answer in the chat and let's see. Do we have any early birds or do we have any late risers? I woke up at 6. Exactly. I woke up at 8:30. I woke up at 5 a.m. Our early bird. Anyone earlier than 5 a.m.? Hamid, I am not a morning person. Excellent. So you can say, I'm not a morning person. I'm not an early bird. All right. This morning, I woke up at 8. Awesome. So you can say, I woke up. Congratulations. Everybody knew the irregular past. So pay attention to these past verbs as well. Woke is the irregular. So for pronunciation, wake, woke, wake, woke. I woke up at 6. You don't have to say AM. I mean, you absolutely can. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not incorrect. But because it's in the morning, it's assumed. I woke up at 6, but I stayed in bed for a bit and caught up on email. So this is where you can take a simple answer and make it more complex. You can add information. So this information is on what the person did immediately after they woke up. So I woke up, which means I opened my eyes, I am conscious, but I stayed in bed. I stayed. That's our past simple. Also notice the pronunciation of our ED past simples because there are 3 pronunciation options. We have a soft D, a soft T, and an id. Stayed. Stayed. This is a soft D. You stay in bed. So notice that preposition. If you're in bed, it means the blanket is on top of me. I'm in bed for a bit. That means a small amount of time. For a bit, for a bit, for a bit, and caught up on email. So this person checked their email. And now if you catch up on email, so the phrasal verb is to catch up, but then you use on when you have the noun. Email is the noun. So notice the past simple of catch, caught. Notice that pronunciation, caught, caught. So let's say the person went to bed at 10 a.m. That's the last time they check their email. They have emails from 10 a.m. or 10 p.m., 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So if you catch up on email, it means you review all the emails since you last checked. So that's what the person did. So why don't you try to expand on your answer? I woke up at 6:30, and I listened to music and I immediately hopped in the shower. What did you do next? That's a great way to expand on it. Jolanta said, I woke up at 7 a.m. My dogs didn't allow me to sleep in. Sleep in. To sleep in. If you sleep in, It means you sleep longer than you normally do. So if you normally get up at 5:30, but you wake up at 6:30, you slept in for 1 hour. Very nice. I love that. You're very welcome all the way to Brazil. Oh, thank you so much, Jorge. I appreciate that so much. Okay. Yes, didn't allow me. I stayed in bed watching funny videos. Watching funny videos. Very nice. I love that. Okay, let's keep going, everyone. Keep providing your answers. How about this? What did you have for breakfast today? Again, today is in the past because I'm asking you after the standard breakfast time. So I'm asking you at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., or even 5 p.m. For some reason, I want to know. What did you have for breakfast today? Notice the pronunciation. What'd you have? What'd you? What'd you have? Fur, that unstressed. What'd you have for breakfast today? What'd you have for breakfast today? That's how a native speaker would pronounce that. What did you have for breakfast today? What'd you have for breakfast today? Put your answer in the comments and remember, see if you can expand on it by providing more information, more details about your breakfast, your preference, anything like that. Okay. I had a cappuccino. Very nice. Today I had cereal for breakfast as usual. Even adding as usual sounds more advanced. Wonderful job. I love it. Okay. I didn't have breakfast this morning. We don't use take with meals. We use eat or have. Have is what native speakers use as a replacement to eat or drink because you have a cappuccino, which is a beverage. You don't eat it, you drink it. Okay, so don't use take with meals. That's a false friend. It's used in other languages, not with English. If you take breakfast, it means you transport it. You could say, I took breakfast with me to work and I ate my breakfast at my desk. So here's my answer, which isn't true. I just made a quick smoothie and drank it as I was getting ready. So I made a quick smoothie. So make, prepare. I made a quick smoothie and drank it. Remember I said you can use had. You can use have or drink and had it as I was getting ready. So getting ready, doing my hair, doing my makeup, getting dressed, all of those activities. So, Hidaki, I had a cup of coffee and yesterday's leftovers for breakfast. Yes, absolutely. Why not? Amazing. Okay. I had an egg and tea. Exactly. You could expand on this by providing the type of egg and the type of tea. It's an easy way to expand. Just provide some more details. I had a salad with bread. We don't say bread because bread is uncountable, but you could say with bread or with a slice of bread. I made a sandwich with cheese and a coffee with milk. Exactly. So expand on the type of sandwich and how you take your coffee. Very nicely done. Okay. A smoothie is where you take mainly fruit. So let's say banana and strawberry is very common in North America. And then you add yogurt, milk, or water, and you mix it in a blender. So it's a thick liquid. So instead of eating strawberries and eating a banana and eating yogurt, I put it in a blender and then I drink it because it's faster. It's very common in North America to have a smoothie for breakfast. Many of them are not healthy, but you can also make a healthy smoothie. Okay, let's keep going. How about this? Did you work out today? So that's how a native speaker would ask it. Did you? Did you, did you, did you, did you work out? So you take that K and you pronounce it on out. Workout, workout. And then today. So if I'm asking today, but it's in the past, you know it's in the past because the question is with did, I would likely be asking this at the end of the day. And it assumes that there is no longer an opportunity for you to work out because I'm asking as if the day is complete. Okay. Did you work out today? Did you work out today? Did you work out today? I like this. No, I didn't. And then you can provide the reason why. So you wouldn't use I'm not. You would say I did not. I didn't. No, I didn't because I'm on vacation. I love how you provided the reason why. Excellent job. Okay. I practice hula hoop and stretching. That is amazing. Does anyone know what a hula hoop is? I love hula hooping. It's really fun. Awesome. Okay. So let's look at this answer. Did you work out today? I went to a yoga class in the park on my lunch break. It was exactly what I needed. So, just like that student said, no, because I'm on vacation, providing a reason why. In this example, I just provided a personal preference or my opinion on it, a statement about it. It was because it's in the past. It was exactly what I needed. Needed again because it's in the past. I'm saying at lunch, it was what I needed. It being the yoga class. So some stretching, some movement. I needed that because I've been sitting all day. I went to a yoga class. So here the verb is go in the past simple. So you can use I always go to a yoga class. You can go to a class. You can also say I did yoga. So if you wanted to use yoga as the activity, the verb would be do. You do yoga. So in the past, I did yoga in the park on my lunch break. So that's when I did it. On my break. Well, what type of break? Because sometimes people get multiple breaks. My lunch break. In North America, you generally get a 1 hour break at lunch. So that's enough time to do something like a yoga class or a jog or play soccer, whatever it might be. Okay. Yes, the hula hoop, the object you spin around your waist. Exactly. Okay, yes, I did. So this is to answer, did you work out? Yes, I did. And then give the information. It was just a 15-minute workout. Absolutely. Great job. I love that. Okay. Yeah, you can say I took part in a yoga class. Absolutely. I took part in a yoga class for sure. That sounds great. Awesome, everyone. I played ping pong at the park in the morning. Excellent. Very nice. That's a fun activity for sure. Let's keep going. How about this? Did you get groceries after work? So, just a common thing people do. Did you get groceries? Now, maybe it's someone in your household asking you because they want to know if there's food for dinner, or they want to know if you got the cereal they like for breakfast, for example. Did you get? Did you get? Now, notice you get groceries. So that's the expression to get groceries, and then you conjugate it. So I need to get groceries after work. I need to get groceries, get groceries, get groceries. Now, get means buy, but native speakers commonly use get instead of buy. Did you get groceries after work? And again, because this is in the past, work is over. So maybe I'm asking this at 8, 9, 10 p.m. Okay, so now you can have a simple yes, I did, no, I didn't, but expand on it. Give some more information. What did you buy? Was the store busy? Was traffic bad? Give some sort. Did you see anyone? Was anything unusual or out of the ordinary? Give more information. Okay. So here's mine. I didn't have time after work, so I had to order Uber Eats for dinner. Uber Eats is a meal delivery service. So I had no food, so I had to order Uber Eats for dinner. So it's just like getting takeout, but it's delivered to my house. I didn't have time. Now, notice I didn't specify the activity because it's obvious, but I could say I didn't have time to get groceries after work, but it's obvious, so there's no need. So I had to order. So using have to do something means there's an obligation. I have to clean my room. I have to prepare the presentation. There's an obligation. But I could also say, so I ordered, and then I can take my verb order and make that the past simple. So I ordered Uber Eats for dinner. Using have to do just makes it sound like it was an obligation. So it's an important structure because it does add meaning. Yes, I did. I bought bread for my breakfast. Exactly. Notice that pronunciation: bought, bought, bought. Okay. No, I didn't. I bought the weekly food yesterday evening in a grocery. I'm not sure about the next home, maybe next door or close to my home, something like that. All right. And if you're enjoying this lesson, put yes, yes, yes. And after you can say, teacher, I did put yes, yes, yes to practice that past simple and also let me know that you did. So put yes, 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 I did in the comments and like this lesson so I know you're enjoying it, and subscribe so you're notified every time I go live. I go live on Tuesday at this exact time. 20 minutes ago we started, so you can mark it in your calendar, but if you subscribe then you will get the notification from YouTube as well. And woohoo, yes, I did put yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And yes, I always put yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Woohoo. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Love it. Okay. Thank you so much, Ariel. And also, I have this free speaking guide for you, so you can get it from my website, jforrestenglish.com. It's absolutely free. I share 6 steps on how to speak English fluently and confidently, because I get the same questions every day from my students. So I put all the information you need and resources to get started right in this guide. So you can download it for free on my website. Just go to the link in the description. And if you want more in-depth lessons, more support from me, if you want me to review your exercises, review your pronunciation, make sure that you're speaking fluently and confidently, you can get that in my program, the Finally Fluent Academy. So you can find the link in the description to learn more as well. All right, everyone. Now let's keep going and let's talk about some plans. But remember, we're talking about this in the past simple. So everything will be in the past simple. Okay, so my question, I hope you're learning these questions as well, because I see a lot of mistakes with question form because it's not as commonly used as statement form. So, what did you do after work today? What did you do after work today? So now I'll say it like a native speaker. What'd you do? What'd ya do? What'd you do? What'd you do after work today? Oh, so what'd you do after work today? What'd you do after work today? What did you do after work today? So if it's the morning for you, like it is for me, you have to imagine it was yesterday. So what did you do after work yesterday? Okay. But if you're watching this and it's 8, 9, 10 p.m., then you can answer this question. So just switch it to yesterday if you need, and then answer the question. So what'd you do after work today? What'd you do after work today? Or what'd you do after work yesterday? Put it in the comments. Practice that past simple. Use verbs you don't regularly use. You don't have to be honest. You don't have to give the actual thing you did. Be creative. Think of something else so you can practice different verbs, practice different vocabulary as well. Okay. So you can say, I was exhausted after work, so I just went straight home and had a quiet night. Now, notice before I provided the answer, I provided the reason why. This is an easy way to sound advanced. Even if I ask you, what'd you have for breakfast? What'd you have for dinner? Did you work out? You can start with the reason and then answer the question. I was exhausted. So our to be exhausted. Notice the pronunciation of this ed is id, exhausted. But you have to add that t so it sounds like tid, exhausted. I was exhausted. I was exhausted. Exhausted means extremely tired. So if you want to sound stronger than tired, then say exhausted. I was exhausted after work, so I just went straight home. Okay, why did I add the word straight home? Because it sounds like you didn't stop for groceries, you didn't go to the park, you didn't go to the bank, you didn't do anything else. You went straight home. So straight means immediately without any detours. I went, so our verb go in the past. I just went straight home and had a quiet night. So a night and then quiet is the adjective. So if I had a quiet night, you don't know what I did. Maybe I read a book, maybe I had a bath, maybe I listened to music, maybe I watched TV, but nothing strenuous or exciting either. I had a quiet night. Okay. I read a paper on a website. So notice read the verb to read. The past simple is the same spelling, but the pronunciation is different. The past is the color red, red. Okay. The color red. The present and the base verb is read, past simple, red. After work, I picked my children up at school. Absolutely awesome sentence structure. I had Pilates class. Awesome. That sounds fun. I rested. I had a brief talk with my neighbor when I got home. Exactly. I love that. I had a brief talk. Nice. Very nicely done. I like how you added brief. It just adds more information when I got home. Well done. I went directly to my house. Yeah, I went straight home. So without any detours. Very nice. Okay. After work, I had dinner, fed my cat, and walked my dog. I love it. Well done. Very nicely done. Okay, let's keep going. How about this question, which is, how was your weekend? So, of course, I would have to ask this near a weekend. So, today's Tuesday. I would say if I saw a neighbor or a friend on Tuesday, I would absolutely ask about the weekend. Wednesday, maybe, because Wednesday I might ask about the future weekend. And then Thursday, Friday, possibly, but I also might ask about the future weekend. But Monday, Tuesday, absolutely. Even Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday. How was your weekend? How was, because the weekend is over. How was your weekend? Your. So notice how unstressed that is. Your. How was your weekend? So it's Tuesday. You can answer this. How was your weekend? Okay, so let's see what I said. It was great. So it being the weekend. Was is your past simple verb of the verb to be. And then you can use whatever adjective or description you want. It was great. And then don't stop there. Of course, that would be a boring answer. Give more information. We had family over. So to have someone over. Oh, I'm having my neighbors over tonight. I had my cousins over last night. It means people came to my house. I invited people to my home. We had family over for a barbecue. So you pronounce this as barbecue. Native speakers generally don't spell the word. We generally spell it as the abbreviation BBQ, but we pronounce it as barbecue. I had my family over for a barbecue. So a barbecue, this is a something. It's a night where I or my husband, we barbecue food. Okay, so the verb is barbecue, but it can also be used as a noun. A barbecue on Saturday because the weekend is, well, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. So you can be specific about what day you did this. We had family over for a barbecue on Saturday. Okay. I cleaned my house and prepared. You also need that verb in the past simple. So your first verb is in the past simple, but your second verb needs to be in the past simple. Prepared some cake for my children. It was my happiest. Met with my beloved childhood girlfriend. Absolutely, that's amazing. I met with my beloved childhood girlfriend. That sounds so nice. I hope you had fun catching up. Okay. Ooh, I like this. I had a busy weekend. And then this person provided what they did. Met some old friends, had a meeting with my clients, take care of, took care of my children. What a busy day. So a day, you want an adjective, which is just busy. It means I invited my family to my home. So I hosted a dinner. The style of dinner was barbecue. And to have them over just means they came to my home. It's what a native speaker would say. So I would say, oh, I'm having friends over tonight. I'm having friends over tonight. It means friends are coming to my home, maybe to watch a movie, play games, just chat, or eat, glass of wine. It's not specific about what the activity is. Okay, let's keep going. Did you watch a movie on Saturday? So maybe someone will ask you a very direct question. Maybe you were telling your friends or coworkers that you were planning to watch a movie. So now they want to know, did you? Did you? Did you? Did you watch a movie? Did you watch a movie on Saturday? So it can be very specific. So what about you? Did you watch a movie on Saturday? Hmm. Did you watch a movie on Saturday? Now, if you answer no, explain what you did instead or explain the reason why. Don't just say, no, I didn't. That sounds very basic and boring. So give more details. And if you did, yes, I did, don't stop there. What movie? Did you like it? Who did you watch it with? Did you eat popcorn? Did you watch it at home or the theater? Keep going and expand on it. Don't stop there. Okay, this is a great answer. Yes, I watched a movie with my son. It was really funny. Absolutely. You provided two pieces of information: who you watched it with and how you enjoyed the movie. Very nicely done. Okay, how about this one? Yeah. Yeah is a more casual way. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we ended up watching the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It was great. It was great. So the phrasal verb here is to end up. Now, because up is a preposition, your verb is in the ing, the verb that follows it. We ended up watching. So if we ended up, it means that that's the final thing we did, but it sounds like we were deciding between different things. So maybe we were deciding between watching a movie or going to a new restaurant, or watching the Leo movie or watching Avatar. And then, so we're talking about the final result. No, I didn't. I took care of my home the whole day and I was exhausted. Excellent. Good job providing the reason why you didn't watch a movie. I love it. Great job. No, I didn't. I had to prepare for final exams. Exactly. You provided the reason why. Excellent. Yes, I did. I watched a Christmas movie on Netflix with my daughters. Ooh, which one? I've probably seen it. I watch all the Christmas movies. I love Christmas movies. I love that answer because you provided additional information. Okay, awesome. I like these answers. Very nice. I didn't. I went to play soccer with my son. Exactly. Great job providing what you did do. Awesome. Let's keep going, everyone. Did you do anything interesting this weekend? So, absolutely, someone can ask you a very specific question like, did you watch a movie on Saturday? But most of the time, they're going to ask you just a general question. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Did you do anything interesting this weekend? So, same thing. You either will say yes and then explain what you did. And why was it interesting? How did you like it? Who did you do it with? Provide one additional piece of information. If you answer no, explain why. Why didn't you do anything interesting? So, no, and then provide one additional piece of information. That's a great way to practice expanding on your answers. So, did you do anything interesting this weekend? And just know interesting doesn't have to be extraordinary. It could be simply playing soccer with your son. That's interesting. Or watching the new Leo movie. That's interesting. Baking a cake for your daughter. That's interesting. So don't think interesting has to be extraordinary. Okay. So, how about this weekend? This answer. We went hiking with friends and then had a picnic in the park. So, again, not extraordinary, relatively ordinary, but it was interesting. I could certainly explain all the reasons why it was interesting. We went hiking. Okay, so notice to go and then your activity is in ing. This is used for many common activities. We went hiking, fishing, dancing, snowboarding, skiing, surfing, many activities. Your verb is go, and that is what you conjugate. So we're going hiking next weekend. Okay. So go, and then the verb, the activity that follows is in ing. We went hiking with friends. So adding that additional information of who just expands on your answer. And then had a picnic. So you have, that's in the past simple, had a picnic. Picnic is a style of meal where you eat prepared foods outside. You usually have a blanket and it's usually casual food like sandwiches or cold salads. And where did you have this picnic? In the park. Okay, so let's see some interesting answer from my students. Yeah, we had a barbecue on our balcony. Amazing. So you can maybe expand on that by saying with who, or what did you barbecue, or even just a statement like the food was amazing, or we laughed all night, or we stayed up until midnight. Just one more piece of information to just expand on it. Yes, we bought bookshelves from IKEA, the one my husband wanted for a long time, and assembled it. It took the whole weekend. Yes, you don't need out there. So something takes time, time being the whole weekend. It took the whole weekend. This is absolutely interesting because assembling IKEA furniture is no joke. So great job. I love that. Okay. Awesome job, everyone. We had a party last weekend. Who did you invite? Was there food, music? Give me some more information. Yes, I did. I read an interesting book and then I went to eat outside. Awesome. I love that. Very nicely done. We went sailing and fishing with our friends this weekend. Wow, that sounds lovely. What a lovely weekend. And great job getting go and then your activity in ing. An excellent job getting sailing, fishing, both of those in ing. We went sailing and fishing with our friends this weekend. Did you catch anything? So you catch a fish, which means you get a fish from the water. Did you catch anything? Did you catch anything? Okay, let's move on and talk about travel. So remember, this is going to be in the past simple. So it's not upcoming, it's past, something you already did. So I can ask you, when was the last time you went on vacation? When was the last time you went on vacation? So I'm looking for a specific date, year, month, or amount of time with the word ago. For example, okay, when was the last time? When was the last time you did something? So you went on vacation. So the structure is to go on vacation. To go on vacation. And that's in the past simple. So I could ask you, when was the last time you had a barbecue? When was the last time you had people over? When was the last time you played soccer? Whatever it might be. When was the last time you went fishing? Whatever it is. So when was the last time you went on vacation? Answer the question so you can provide a specific year, month, season, or you can use time ago. So those are your general options. How about this sentence structure? This is a little more of an advanced sentence structure. It's been, it has been. So this is in the present perfect. It has been 2 years since we took a proper vacation. Oh, it's been 2 years since we took a proper vacation. An alternative, a more beginner way of answering this would be we went on vacation 2 years ago, or the last time we went on vacation was 2 years ago. This is an advanced way. It's been 2 years since we took a proper vacation. You could say since we went on a proper vacation, but native speakers also use take a vacation. So you can go on a vacation or you can take a vacation. And a proper, adding the word proper, it just means a full vacation because maybe you visited your parents, but you didn't consider that in a different city for one night, but you didn't consider that a vacation because you routinely visit your parents. It wasn't a unique location for you. You've been to that city hundreds of times. It was only one night. It wasn't relaxing. You had a lot of work to do. So, although you went to your parents who live in another city last month, you didn't consider that a vacation. So that's what it means by proper, like a full, a real vacation, one where you truly relax, you experience something new, you're in vacation mode, you're not checking work, you're not dealing with chores, you're just on vacation. So that's what that means. Okay. I traveled one year ago to Uruguay. I would say, okay, the last time I went on vacation was 1 year ago. We drove to Uruguay. So that's probably how I would phrase that. But excellent answer. We just need to rearrange the words a little bit, but great job. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's like a getaway. I went on a weekend getaway, but it wasn't like a proper vacation, a full vacation where you can truly relax. Okay. I enjoyed my vacation in September. So when you just have the month, you use in. If you have month plus day, you use on. So on September 14th with a trip to Balkans. Okay. So in September, on September 14th. I went on vacation last year in December. Perfect sentence structure. Excellent job. What you can do is expand on that and say, I went on vacation last year in December. Where did you go? Who did you go with? How long did you stay there? What did you do? You don't have to answer all those questions, but just give one additional piece of information. Awesome. I went to London on a long vacation last weekend. Okay, you don't use trip and vacation. So you just choose one. So trip can be a vacation, but trip can also be for business purposes. Vacation is only for social, personal reasons. But I often say, oh, we're going on a trip to mean we're going on vacation. I had a family reunion today and it was amazing. Awesome. I love that. It was 3 months ago, a splendid vacation in Greece with my husband. I love that. I love how you added splendid. Adding adjectives is a great way to sound more advanced. Very nicely done. Let's keep going. Okay. So, where was the last place you traveled to? Now, if you were asked this on an IELTS exam or maybe a first date or a networking event, some chance where you want to get to know someone, this can be for business purposes, vacation. So it doesn't have to be vacation because you can travel to a place for a conference, for example. So you can answer anything for this. So where was the last place you traveled to? Now, maybe you just went somewhere only an hour outside of your city, but you could still provide that as the answer. All right. So you can provide the answer and practice adding one additional piece of information. How about this? We went to Japan in August this year for 2 weeks. So in August, remember, because I don't have the specific day, if I said on August 14th, on, in August. We went to Japan in August this year. So they know it wasn't last August, it was this August. We went to Japan in August this year for, and then the period of time, 2 weeks, for 2 weeks. So that's how you can provide some additional information naturally, just in one simple sentence. But it sounds more advanced because you provided the details. We went to Germany to meet my sister for a week this last summer in May. Excellent. And I like how you provided the reason why, to meet my sister. Really nicely done. Great job. I went to France and Britain via China this year for 2 weeks. Awesome. Well done. I traveled to Chicago from Detroit by train last week. Exactly. I love this. Very advanced. To Chicago from Detroit by train last week. Very nicely done. I love it. On November 9th, fast learner. Great job. On November 9th, I visited Madrid one more time of a performance, Ninth Beethoven Symphony in the National Auditorium. Wow, that sounds amazing. What a reason for a trip. I love that. Great job. We traveled to Italy last September for a wedding ceremony. Really nice. I love that you provided the reason why. For a wedding ceremony, to meet my sister. So for something, for noun, to do something, to meet my sister, to listen to a symphony, whatever it is, for a performance. Exactly. Well done. Well done. Okay. Great job, everyone. Now, for that student who went to Chicago, I could ask, oh, what places did you visit in Chicago? What places did you visit in France or in Britain? What places did you visit in Italy? So, what places did you visit in the city that you went to? So, everyone, provide something. See if you can expand on it. Provide your perception of it, your experience with it, your opinion, anything like that. I can say we stayed in Tokyo and Kyoto. So those are the two places. And then just a personal preference or an opinion. Both cities had completely different vibes. So vibe is just the environment, the atmosphere. So my perception of how the city felt and looked. That could be vibe. It's a very commonly used term. It's definitely a little more casual, everyday, but very commonly used. I love the vibe of this city. Oh, this city has a great vibe. But you could also use that to describe a restaurant or a cafe or even a park or anything like that. I love sitting in this park and reading a book. It just has such a nice vibe. So native speakers really love using that word. Okay, Hidaki, I visited Paris, London, and the castles along the Loire River in northern France. Wow, sounds amazing. You have great vibes. Yes, that's a compliment. Definitely say that to someone. Wow, I love your vibe. I love your vibe. I don't know. She just has a great vibe. Someone asks you, like, oh, what do you like about her? Oh, I just love her vibe. She has a great vibe. It's like the energy, the mood, the atmosphere, things like that. Okay. Awesome, everyone. Let's keep going. Of course. How was the food? Now, instead of the food, I could ask, how were the castles? So, how were, because castles is plural. Notice that pronunciation, the T is silent. Castles. How were the castles? So, you're asking just about the person's experience with it. So you don't have to use food. You can use anything. How was the coffee? Or if you're going to somewhere that has a specific cuisine, like Italy, you might ask, how was the pizza? How was the pasta? How was the gelati, for example? Okay. How was the food? It was, and then of course your adjective. It was amazing. It was amazing. Everything tasted so fresh. The ramen was my favorite. So maybe you provide your personal preference, something you like the most. The ramen was my favorite. So notice we're still in the past. Was amazing. Tasted was my favorite. It was delicious and maybe you mean tasty. It was delicious and tasty. I don't know what you mean by tested. Okay. Did you try any local food? Absolutely. That would be a great question to ask. Did you try any local food? Or you can be, if you know what the local food is, you can ask, oh, did you try the ramen? Did you try the sushi or whatever that local food is? Okay, what is ramen? If there is someone from Japan, please explain it. I will not. The food was out of this world, out of the world, out of this world. You can use both. Awesome. I love it. Out of this world. Woo. Sounds really amazing. Scrumptious. I love that. Scrumptious. Okay, the food was mouth-watering. I really enjoyed everything. Now I want to cook that by myself. Exactly. I love that. Cook that by myself. Very nicely done. Love it. Okay, how was the weather? How was the weather? How was the weather? Basic question. You know that, right? So just asking it in the past. How was the weather? So answer that in the past. So just think of the last place you traveled to and answer, how was the weather? How was the weather? The weather was perfect. Perfect. The weather was perfect. It was hot, but not boiling, and it didn't rain once. Okay. So it didn't because it's in the past simple and it's a completed past action. It's not possible for it to rain now because I'm talking about 2 weeks in the past and it didn't rain once. It didn't rain once. So that's an alternative of just emphasizing that it didn't rain. There was no rain because rain can really ruin your experience as a tourist. So you can just add once to emphasize that it didn't rain once. I didn't get lost once. So you can add once just to really emphasize that. The weather was perfect. It was hot, but not boiling because boiling sounds negative. Oh, it's boiling. It sounds like too hot. And when you're a tourist, you're walking around all day. You don't want it to be boiling. So boiling sounds negative. It was hot, but not boiling, and it didn't rain once. So maybe you say the weather was terrible. It was freezing and I got a cold. Yeah, for sure. The weather was the weather was a little bit windy and cloudy. So maybe here it wasn't perfect, it wasn't terrible. So you could say the weather was okay. The weather was okay. It was a little bit windy and cloudy, but maybe that's what you wanted because you were sailing. So maybe you would say the weather was perfect, a little windy and cloudy, exactly what you want when you're sailing, for example. Okay. The weather was crisp. Yeah, very nice. So it sounds like a little bit cold, but more in a positive way, a way that wakes you up when you walk outside. It was dry and sunny. Very nice. Great job, everyone. The weather is pleasant today. The weather was pleasant on my trip last week. Very nice. All right. Well, let's end it there because we have 5 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, we have 5 minutes. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have because we have some time. And if you want to try an example sentence or put a question, feel free to do that now. And also just remember, if you haven't already, you can get this free speaking guide. In this, I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. I share my best tips and advice. So you can get this absolutely free. Just go to my website, jforrestenglish.com. You'll see it there, or you can do /free-guide for the direct link and then enter your name and email. And this will be emailed to you. Make sure you check your junk or spam folder because it will likely go there. And then you can save it to your computer or you can print it like I did. Maybe you like to write some notes in it. I know a lot of students send me pictures of their guide and there's so many notes in it and they made so many highlights and marks. So you can do that as well. And then also, if you want to keep expanding your vocabulary, make sure you sound natural, make sure you sound like a native speaker, and also practice listening to native English so you understand native speakers. You can get all of that in the Finally Fluent Academy. And the best part is you get personalized support from me so I can answer your questions, give you feedback on your writing and your pronunciation as well. So again, we have a few minutes left. So let me answer any questions. Is scorching common in daily life? Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, it's scorching out outside today, for sure. One that natives use a lot, one that I probably use more than, it's a scorcher. It's a scorcher today. So this is just taking, let me put this here. So this is just taking to be scorching. So it's scorching today. And this is using the noun form, a scorcher. It's a scorcher today. It's a scorcher today. It's a scorcher today. So that's probably what native speakers use more. I would use scorching maybe if, for example, if I'm on the beach in the tropics, the sand, I might say, oh, wow, the sand is scorching. So I might describe something like sand, because if you touch it, if you walk on it, your feet literally burn. That's how hot it is. So I might say, make sure you wear sandals. The sand is scorching. But just to describe the general day, you can absolutely say it's scorching today, or it's a scorcher, which is very common. Okay. I just posted a news article on Monday, so yesterday on my channel, and I post them every Monday. So every Monday you can watch the news reviews, and so make sure you subscribe to my channel. And also you can just put a little note in your calendar. I post them at 8 a.m. Eastern time, which is the time in New York City. So you can just put that in your calendar, and then you have a reminder to watch the news reviews. All right, everyone, you are very welcome. Yeah, there are lots of grammar lessons on my channel. So if you just go to my channel name, and if you go to playlists, there's separate playlists for beginner grammar, intermediate grammar, advanced grammar, and you can just watch the lessons in those playlists. Or you can search my channel if there's a specific topic that you're interested in and see what comes up. I do not have a podcast. I would consider just my YouTube channel to be more of a podcast, but I don't have a separate podcast. So you can use this as your podcast. Okay, so if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend you get this free guide, because I explain everything you need to do. And then also I have on my on my YouTube channel, there's playlists for beginner English, intermediate, advanced. So you can go to the lessons in those playlists. This is a good question. Why do we use the past simple with today? Because I'm asking when I view today as a completed past action. So at 9:00 p.m., if I talk to a friend or I talk to a neighbor, my husband, I would say, what did you do today? Because it's 9:00 p.m. and today is a completed past action. So that's why. Okay. What did you have for dinner tonight? I'm asking at 9:00 p.m. and tonight is a completed past action. Dinner is a completed past action. So you use today with the past simple if you view it as a completed past action. All right, very good question. I'm glad you asked that. All right, everyone, have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see all of you in my next lesson. Bye, everyone. Bye.